And we're back! Hi, I'm Sean from Vicious Legacy, and in this series I'm doing a post-mortem on our attempt to make a simple game in 3 months. Haunt and Seek. Check out part 1 if you haven't already. After the last episode we have a ghost, we have some movement and a dream. But we needed to give our ghost something to do. And same as in Oh Dear and other social stealth games, we needed to think of tasks or actions for the players controlling the ghost to perform to prolong their hidingness from the exorcist. And as before, the design of that fell on Leigh's shoulders.
Welcome back to another session of What Went Through Leigh's Brain. This week, as Sean mentioned, I'll be talking about the lovable squishy character, the Ghost. There were a few aspects I had to keep in mind for the Ghost's ability, which also went through a few different iterations here and there, but this is where it ended up. The first and most crucial aspect was how to get the Ghost to blend in, and what better way to do that than simply have the Ghost possess Townfolk NPC. From a balance point, I didn't just want the Ghost to stay in the Townsfolk's body forever. The poor exorcist would have no chance of finding them. So what does anyone do in that case? Whack a timer on it. The Ghost is able to reset the timer by leaving the body or using another ability, the Quick Hop, to jump to a nearby townsfolk. However, the Quick Hop will give an alert of the Ghost's general direction to the exorcist. Now, when the Ghost was possessing a townsfolk, I didn't just want them to walk around with nothing else to do. So how to solve this? Give them derpy emotes to perform. In addition to increasing the derp factor, a scale we take seriously, it also adds another layer of depth to blending in, as now they need to judge how often and when they use certain emotes. To lean a bit further into this, I also had the idea that certain structures or points around the map would make NPCs more prone to certain emotes, making the incognito ghost, or inghostnito if you will, have to think more about their surroundings. So we have solved the hiding issue and enjoyment factor, but you're probably asking yourself, but Leigh, how does the ghost win? Well, fret not, kind viewers, as the secret lies with the ghost's final ability. To win the game as the ghost, the chaos meter has to completely fill up. This will happen slowly over time, as the exorcist kills NPCs, or if the ghost uses its most terrifying ability, conversion. This ability allows the ghost to kill townsfolk they are currently possessing, leaving a bit of their spooky ghost essence behind, turning the townsfolk into a semi-inconspicuous sleeper agent. Each time the ghost uses this ability, an amount of the chaos meter will fill up. However, to balance this out, I gave the ability a long cooldown time. Once the bar is full, the town and all the converted townsfolk will turn against the exorcist, as clearly they're not to be trusted. So that's it. These are the main abilities of the ghost, but who knows, there may be a few more surprises surrounding the ghost, but I think I'll let you discover them for yourselves. Enjoy!
Alright, so first things first, in the engine, I wanted to tackle possession, since it's the main action that the ghost will be taking. But first we needed NPCs to possess. Setting these up was pretty simple. I imported some modular peasants, slapped on a navmesh agent, and wrote a simple script that essentially just picks random positions on the navmesh for them to walk towards. Oh, I also made a navmesh. And voila, peasants as smart as actual peasants. Dear Unity, why the hell don't your navmesh agents automatically avoid one another? Why? Just make them avoid each other. Anyway, now we need the actual possession. I wrote a layered coroutine for the different stages of the possession, which will just work through itself automatically when we bump into someone that you want to possess. First, we remove the controls from the player. Then we send the ghost towards the target itself, and we scale the ghost down at the same time. Then, all we do is, once the ghost is inside the NPC, we turn it off, and we parent the NPC to the ghost controller and keep everything else the same. Little did I know that this absolutely would not work when it came to doing the netcode, but that's another story.
Nobody's gonna know.
They're gonna know.
How would they know?
Now, I just need to polish up the animations, make sure they trigger on the ghost's input. Perfect. To exit, we do exactly the same thing, but in reverse. Next, to slap in a simple UI timer and an icon that I whipped up in Photoshop to make sure to give the player a sense of fear as the timer runs out and they get ejected from the body. Then I add a horrible, but free, highlight to show when we're in possession mode, so anyone we bump into will become possessed, as long as that's active. For the quick dash, it's mainly the same thing, except that I do a highlight when you're within proximity of someone that you could potentially jump to instead of highlighting yourself. And when we do the quick dash across, I increase the speed that you would normally go in, and I don't scale the ghost back up, I just keep him nice and small and squishy. Finally, when it becomes time to make a sleeper agent, or violently murder the person you're currently possessing, it just plays the eject that we normally do, except this time it triggers some sort of horrifying animation for the NPC. Then after a little while, they get back up and continue about their day. Great! Next week, we'll start looking at the Exorcist and how they interact with the ghost and the NPCs as well. Awesome. See you then.